Hey guys, today we'll be talking about some of the most legendary guitars in rock history. So settle in and let's get into the show. Welcome to the Music Archive, the podcast to learn the history behind the music you love. I'm your host, Cameron Wallace, and let's get into the show. The first guitar is owned by none other than Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of the most legendary guitarists of all time. Vaughan's Fender Stratocaster, also known as Number 1, was, in his words, his first wife. This absolute Frankenstein of a guitar went through so much abuse, so many repairs, and, quote, was rebuilt more times than a custom Chevy. And he wasn't the first person to have it. The guitar was previously owned by Christopher Cross of yacht rock fame, and it did not take long for the abuse to start. After just a few years of playing this guitar, he had to replace the neck of it with his 1961 guitar named Scotch. And on July 7th, 1990, in Holmdel, New Jersey, a piece of stage rigging fell and snapped the neck of Number 1 in half, which was quickly replaced with a new Fender neck. The guitar originally had a beautiful sunburst finish, but after many years was ragged, chewed up, cigarette burned. Pretty much anything that could go wrong to it happened to it. And at the end of Number 1's career, it ended with a 1962 body, a 1963 neck, and 1959 pickups. While Vaughan's Number 1 is absolutely legendary, there is certainly no guitar in history as legendary as B.B. King's Lucille. Early in B.B. King's career, he used a Fender Telecaster, but Lucille is most iconically symbolized by a Gibson ES-335. Lucille gets his name from a 1949 incident while he was playing at a dance hall at Twist, Arkansas. The hall was heated by a barrel half filled with burning kerosene, set in the most delicate, calm area of the middle of the dance floor. This was common at the time, but I don't think anyone with hindsight can say that this was a good idea. And to prove that even further, two men began fighting and knocked over the burning kerosene barrel. As the blaze ignited, all the people were evacuated, including King. But when he was outside, he realized that he left his $30 Gibson guitar. King rushed back in the blaze and succeeded in grabbing his guitar. King claimed that he almost lost his life trying to get this guitar. Now some of you might think, well, what does that have to do with its name being Lucille? Well, it turns out that the origin of the fire, the two men who were fighting over a woman named Lucille. And so in turn, he named his guitar Lucille as a reminder to never run into a burning building or fight over a woman, which are two principles I take to heart. While we commonly think about the timeline of an artist, from where they start to where they end, not many people think about the instruments that made them who they are. These guitars, these instruments are, at a certain point, like a sibling to them, or if you're Stevie Ray Vaughan, a wife. So it's really important to appreciate the instruments that these artists have had. And as for Number 1 and Lucille, they'll forever be in music history. Thank you for listening to the Music Archive. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and tune in very soon for more history of the music you love.